Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today is like a house cleaning day, so I'm going to handle all that. It's a mess here. I'm normal. I've got my rice cooker a mess, my trash, me. Some of you say I'm also trash. It's okay too. I gotta do dishes, I gotta do laundry. I got a pile of laundry like halfway up to the ceiling. Gonna wash all my shoes and bedding and stuff. And yeah, so I'm gonna get into that, set it up, and talk and have a show. I think previously I mentioned I have a very thick padding on my floor. This was from Shopee. It's about 2 inches thick, the padding, and that's just because I work out and stretch a lot, and I do a lot of jumping and cardio exercise on the floor, so to respect my neighbors from my jumping on the floor or whatever, I pad the floor. I don't know if you guys saw, I completed the, at least that side of the wall for the sound padding, or whatever you call it, sound deadening. So yeah, man, let me go and set this thing up. You guys see my messy place here. Grab this little phone holder tripod thing, and as you see, my place is completely messed up and destroyed. I gotta wash everything, and let me go position this thing outside and talk, okay? All right, perfect, it's rolling. Okay, let me shut the, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Fuck, I'll leave the window open a bit. Yeah, what's the worst could happen? The phone falls off the windowsill back into the room. Okay, you guys got a little view of everything. Let's push the wide button. Too wide. Good enough. All right, look at the buildings. Fuck it. All right, so let me go ahead and get this started, and I'm gonna start talking and running my mouth about some dumb shit, I guess. By the way, my name is Shimmy Cash. If you want to support my work, you can always just search for me on your favorite search engines and find my other entertainment websites and movies and stuff if you want to support my work. This is a non-profit channel. I don't make no money from YouTube. I say as I please, do as I please, and they'll ban the channel eventually. So enjoy it for what it's worth and try to learn something if you feel like it. If you look to be entertained by something that's like moving in front of your screen or whatever, you have a very short attention span, and you should try to listen and also try to read a few books. Stop trying to be so visually entertained, people. Yeah, I mean, I have, believe me, I have more than enough movies and products for you to go fuck with that, but it is something that really bothers me about humans in the last couple decades, and maybe I've contributed to it myself. It's just that humans have become such visual learners that they need like a, like basically a YouTube tutorial to tie their goddamn shoes nowadays. You don't always need a video to guide you into doing things. It's okay to read a little bit, and it's okay to just listen with your ears sometimes. That's all that I'm saying. So let me go start loading up this washing machine, and I'm gonna tell a few stories, okay? I'll tell you how I got to this, why I want to talk about this anyway. I want to take you guys back, turn the clock back to 2001, I believe. Maybe 2002. No, 2001, right? Was that the year they had the 9/11 thing in America? I think so. Well, anyway, long story short, I used to live in Florida back in whatever I mentioned, 2001. As you people may know or may not know, in the year 2001, they had the Twin Towers thing go down in America, the so-called terrorist attack or whatever. There's plenty of information about that up by now. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about my job at the airport. During this time, after 9/11, they were hiring security guards left and right. Before there was a thing called the TSA in America, I think it stands for Transportation Security Administration, I think. Y'all can look it up, I don't know. Before that thing, or before Homeland Security was even a thing, most airports had private security or security run by the city. And if you happen to be a black man, or even Latino in some instances, but mostly black, you're a black guy, you could generally always get a job as a security guard. For one, it's a dangerous job, but two, they typically want to hire black men because, most people are scared of black men. Black men are most of the time your security guards in the banks and malls, and I've had many security guards. I've been a casino security guard, airport security guard, you name it. I've declined. I've only had to decline one security job offer in my life, and that was in was it Oakland? No, it was actually in San Leandro, California. A couple like maybe 8 years after that, I came back to California, and there was a grocery store nearby the house saying they needed security guard and they were hiring or whatever. And I asked them, okay, well, just curious, why do you need a security guard so urgently? And someone at the store told me, well, the last security guard was here, he got pistol whipped. And I was like, nah, I'm good. No, thank you, sir. I'm all good. See, I'll be a security guard in like a white community or a Native American reservation or an airport or some shit like that, where I don't have to deal with other niggers, basically. But, you know, if I gotta do like black on black security, fuck that. That's I'm not gonna get paid enough to go get shot in the fucking head. I declined that job. But anyway, going back to my airport security thing, 2001, I got a job hired by the city of Orlando. I think the company was called GOAA, G-O-A-A, stands for General Orlando Aviation Authority. This was a city of Orlando job. Paid shit. Absolute shit. Starting pay $9.30 an hour. And eventually, after working there for 2 years, I got up to almost $10 an hour. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I got a mortgage, wife, kid, car payments, all kind of shit. You got to do this job, another job, an internet business, and whatever, just to kind of run on this treadmill, right? But anyway, let me talk about this job, though. And, you know, the security guard job at the airport, you basically to tell people, hey, you can't park here. I'm going to tow your car, and you know, basically, companies have a history of hiring black people to deal with other black people. So at this particular job, they would always assign me to the, I guess you would call it the budget airlines. There was an airline at the time called ATA. I think they're out of business now, American Transair. And they would have direct flights from Orlando to Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico, I'm sorry. And all Puerto Ricans, right? And Puerto Ricans are basically like black. They're arguably more black than real black people in America. But Puerto Ricans are niggers, period, right? And they act like them. They act worse than niggers, actually. They're more violent even. So they would assign me to work at the Puerto Rican airline most of the time. And if I got a break, my fucking spick supervisor would send me to Southwest Airlines. So you're dealing with either poor black people or poor Puerto Rican people. Now the other white folks that were on the so-called security team or whatever, they got to work on the B-side terminal, the international terminal. They got paid more. They got a stress-free job because they had international travelers who knew how to act right. They'd get to go to, like, you know, British Airways and what do they call that? Just airlines you ain't never heard of. Shit like John Hancock and, you know, just, you know, the more expensive upper echelon airlines or whatever is what they would get. But if you got black skin, my friend, expect to get, you know, the shit end of the stick. I got to deal with poor people, you know, going to pick up their abuela, grandma. They're telling me all their story in case, and you can't park here, sir. You got to go around. It's a horrible job where you have to confront and fight people for the entirety of the shift, basically. And there's a new flight coming in like every 30 to 45 minutes. So as soon as everyone's got their baggage and cleared out, here comes another plane of spicks and niggers that I got to go and, you know, talk to. And black people get self-righteous too. The worst actually was the worst passengers I actually had to deal with were black women police officers, believe it or not. You know, black women would fly in and they'd see me in I got my little, they don't give you a gun or nothing like that. I got my security guard uniform on, whatever. And I'd tell the lady, hey, you can't park here, whatever. You know, you're a civilian. What are you doing? This is the international airport. You know, I got to give them this line, you know, it's 9/11. George Bush said this and that, and you can't park here. Black woman, self-righteous. Well, I'm a police officer, and so-and-so, so-and-so, and I'm like, yeah, I understand all that, but, you know, the crackers are watching me on this security camera, and you can't park here, lady, and you can't wait and go meet somebody at the terminal and that shit and leave your car here. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. And they're only paying me $9.30 an hour to go fight with these wild niggers, right? Florida is just horrible, period, okay? But, you know, the ethnic so-called black jobs are very dehumanizing, demeaning, degrading, and the most disrespect I have received has been from black people in Florida on the job. I just absolutely hate Southern niggers, period. So it takes a while to, that's why I don't live there anymore. Fuck it. Now, where am I going with my story here? No, I didn't want to start. Let me start loading this washing machine up here. I'm pacing around here, right? So I got to separate the laundry white and colors here. Just a moment. Get into this shit here. Let me get a drink of water here. Hold on a minute. Appreciate you guys' patience. You might as well turn the screen off unless y'all just want to look at buildings and shit. Put in your earbuds and play this show if you want. Go for a run or a walk. Do something productive. Stop watching your goddamn screen so much. For one, I'll say this too. I'm not a telephone person. I don't like talking on the telephone. You know, if someone ever got my phone, and I'm getting to this story soon too, if someone ever got a hold of my phone and they were to go through all the text messages and the shit on my phone, it would be the repeat of the same message. Hey, what's up? Good morning. Okay, I'm on the way. Hey, what's up? Good morning. Good afternoon. Whatever. What's up? Yeah. Okay. What time? I'm on the way. That's it. Anything else I can discuss when I get there. I'm not going to hold a goddamn hot ass phone, heavy fucking brick up to my ear with all this radiation and shit while I listen to someone bellyache about this, that, and the other. I like to see people in person, face to face, eye to eye. You know, fuck it. Give me a cup of coffee and a joint and we'll talk and I could listen attentively, but I'm not someone that likes to have any phone conversation more than a few seconds, really. And that's just how I am. I think phones are really for girls, cell phones, whatever. So I've never really had a good phone up until now. This phone I got now, I got that shit. I didn't even make the payment on this motherfucker, right? But it's a pretty good phone. But over here where I'm at in Asia, the SIM card shit is locked, so I don't have no service on it, which is fine by me. It's a Wi-Fi use phone only, which is great. It's just like a camera that I could play video games on and whatever, right? But yeah, so I've always had a shitty phone with a shitty camera, and it's okay because I don't really care about stuff like that. You folks might think that just because I'm like a computer guy, that I have like all this, people would ask me this all the time, oh, you must have some high-tech computer, laptop gear shit. You got all, no. The answer is no. I actually do not like technology, surprisingly. I don't like computers. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you have to like it. I say this all the time. So anyway, get back to my story about the phone here. Okay, I'm at the airport. This is the year like 2001, possibly 2002, because I had the job for a couple years. And what is going on during my shift? I see a black lady. She turns out she's Jamaican, actually. And, you know, she's like sitting on the bench waiting for a ride or a taxi or some shit or someone to pick her up. But she's there for almost my entire 8-hour, no, was it an 8-hour shift? Might have been a 10 or a 12-hour shift or some weird shit like that. I don't know. Sometimes they'd ask you to hold over. But I'm there for like an overnight shift sometimes. And I'm like, damn, this lady's been sitting on the bench for like, well, at least 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. Something's very wrong, you know? So part of my job is to walk up and down the what do you call it? The terminal where people pick up their passengers and tell people, hey, you got to move your car or whatever. If it ever got a little light, like all the flights are done for the night, or there's no flights there's like a break for some miraculous reason, I would give people a little bit of slack for parking their cars for momentarily, right? I wasn't so militant if there was like there's no need to be top flight security if no one's out there. If there's fucking 3 people on the concourse and you park your car at the very end and it takes me like 5 minutes to walk to the end or whatever, a mile or so or something like that, or however long it was for the terminal, as long as they were gone by the time I got back, I wouldn't stress. But I couldn't have someone like sleeping and camping in their car. The problem with airports is like, of course, imagine your family or your beloved one, whatever, wants to fly into town. You want to meet them for a curbside pickup, obviously, but flights get delayed, luggage gets delayed, and that's where we have like traffic jams and shit like that. And I would tell people like, hey man, just go park in the parking garage. The first half hour is free, and after that it ain't much, $2-3 an hour or something back then. And you park your car, walk over, and go inside and wait. But no. Everyone, especially black people and Puerto Ricans, they want to be the big nigger and pick up their bitch, whatever, in their BMW, Lexus, Mercedes. Poor people have all the luxury cars in the world, right? Show, portable wealth that they don't really have or finance. So, and I'm fucking with their movie or fantasy, basically. So getting back to my story, as I was sidetracking again, the Jamaican lady is sitting on the bench for like 8 hours or so. Not talking to anybody, just like sitting there waiting to get picked up, I assume. So finally, out of curiosity, I'm like, hey, you all right? And she's like, yeah, my ride didn't come through, whatever. Could I use your phone to make a phone call? And I had a imagine the year 2001, what cell phones were like. I had a Sprint flip phone that looks like a goddamn calculator. You guys would make fun of it these days, but back then the cell phones a flip phone was some shit, 25 or whatever years ago or something like that, right? So I'm like, yeah, whatever, don't fucking call Jamaica or some shit like that, I told her. And actually, no, what did I even say it to her? I said, you know what, just tell me the number. By the way, this is before smartphone. This ain't no Android, ain't no iPhone. This is just a regular calculator-ass phone, right? So there's no internet on the phone, no email on the phone, nothing like that. But I say, you just tell me the phone number. I enter it, I dial it. It's some local Florida number, whatever. And I give it to her so she could call and talk, whatever. Well, she calls the number, and I guess nobody picks up, and whatever, and she gives the phone back to me. And I think nothing of it and go on about my shift and go home. The lady was still there. Like by the time I'm going back to my house, whatever, I'm like, well, she'll find some way up out of there that she's going to sleep on the bench tonight. Ain't my problem. Shit. Right? So over the next couple days, my phone starts ringing, and it's like some angry Jamaican guy calling me up. I answer this, a man's voice, me answering the phone. Hello? Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Bomba clot, like this. All that Jamaican rasclat talk, whatever, right? So I kind of put 2 and 2 together in hindsight, realizing that the girl... Okay, here's why you don't ever want to let someone use your phone. The girl, or many girls that I now that I realize this, they will use other men, just their voice or number or something, as a utility to make another man, mainly their boyfriend or husband or some shit, jealous. And before you know it, you are somehow involved. I don't know this bitch or her name, never seen her in my life, and I got some angry fucking Jamaican calling me up incessantly for days. Who are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing? How do you know her? Why are you... So I bring that up as just like a warning to those of you. Don't ever let anybody use your phone. Now more than ever with smartphones. Why? Because we have emails, Gmails, accounts, banking shit, whatever. All it takes for someone to fuck your life up is to have possession of your phone for not even a minute. That's all that it takes. They could go and change your Gmail email passwords. They could log into your bank or get your bank. They could just go into your password manager in your settings thing. They could screenshot or copy all your passwords or change them. I'm not even talking about these hacker motherfuckers, these little young kids that are doing the SIM swapping and all that illegal shit and whatever, but someone with very basic knowledge of just how to change their own password. They could change your own password, lock you out of your shit, and now you can't get into your stuff like that. What's even worse, if they had devious or malintent, they could do shit like what the Jamaican girl did and just start making enemies for you that you don't even know. Or it could get even more devious. If you just try to be a good Samaritan and let some random fuck on the street, a kid or whoever, use your phone, and they feel like pranking you or fucking with you, they could call in like bomb threats. They could call in weird claims of this happened, help. All they would have to do is just go and text a number and say like help or some shit, and before you know it, you're all fucked up and like that, right? So I learned my lesson more than 20 years ago. Do not let anyone else use your phone. If you ever sell your phone, make sure you factory erase, swipe, delete it. I don't even suggest you sell a phone, actually. If you have a phone that you used before, keep it yourself and just destroy the motherfucker. Crack the screen, take the battery out, stomp on it, crush it, whatever you got to do, because your data and your information and all that shit is far more valuable now than ever, since the internet is basically on everyone's phones. So that's what I'm getting at, There's more incidents that I could bring up or whatever, but I just wanted to bring that up as like a warning for those of you who don't know, because they don't really have payphones anywhere in the world anymore. Not in Asia, not in America, not in the West, not in Spanish countries. You can't go nowhere and pop a quarter or a dime into a fucking telephone booth and call someone up. Everyone has to have their own phone. There's no way around it, right? Now, speaking about myself and cell phones, here in Asia, I have not paid a cell phone bill in over 8 years, although I do have a phone here, but it has no credit on it. It works on Wi-Fi only, meaning that you might be able to call me if the only person that calls is for delivery, because you get free incoming calls even if you don't have any credits on your phone here. So that's all that I use that shit for anyway, but it's like I can't make an outgoing call. I can't make an outgoing text, even if I want it to, unless I go and load money on the fucking thing, which I don't do ever. For one, I don't really want to talk to nobody like that, as I mentioned earlier. The phone is not my thing. It's a toy for kids as far as I'm concerned. I'm a man, talk to me like a man face to face or whatever, right? Or make the appropriate arrangements if you have something important to tell me, is all that I have to say about that. But yeah, man, that's a word to the wise about telephones. People can do all types of damage if they just get a hold of it for a minute. Now, you can't, for one, no one can really financially rob me because I don't have no money in the bank. I don't have no crypto. I don't have no digital assets. There ain't no crazy shit because I'm not a phone guy and I'm not really a techie guy like you guys might think I am. So, it doesn't really matter if the motherfucker fucks with it. But in order to protect myself just from malicious shit, yeah, you can't make a call on my phone. It won't go through. Period. And I like it that way. It limits my liability. The other thing I'll mention too, let me actually go in the room and check on this fucking thing, make sure it hasn't fallen out the window. No, it hasn't. Okay, so this is the phone right here. Yeah, you guys can see my hand there. See, I'm going to slide up the cover. I have a lens cover on the camera right here. Hold on, watch this, guys. See how it just turned black? That's how my phone always is normally. It's a sliding lens cap cover. Slide it down, up, down, up, down. Now in public, my lens cover is always closed. On purpose, intentionally, so that people don't think I'm trying to record them. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea, so Also, it protects the very expensive camera lens. Can't have that getting any scratches on it. But no, out of respect for other people's privacy, since everyone has a phone on them at all times, you people will always see me with a lens cover over the damn camera on my thing. Because I don't really enjoy taking photos and videos of people that I'm not paying. As I've said on previous shows or whatever. Yeah, I'm not a paparazzi guy. I don't like cameras. Most of the time people are taking pictures and videos of me. I got my own camera girl and shit for work. So, you know, what kind of a fool do I look like? Just willy-nilly taking pictures and videos for no fucking reason. For non-profit at that. Yeah. So, that's all. Telephones are telephones. God damn, I got a lot of laundry here to do. This is going to take a while. So yeah, man, what else is going on here that I could mention while I'm sorting these clothes out? I got some emails saying there's some... You must vote now because there's going to be elections in 6 more days. Well, they keep running these ads so hard, even here in Asia. Vote for the American election, whatever. I'm not voting. Speaking of the year 2000, whatever, I haven't voted since the year 2000. I think I've explained my logic behind that on the previous show. If y'all, I'm not going to repeat myself. But hell no. I haven't voted in 2024. I have not voted in 24 years. Yeah. Not interested. I don't live there no more anyway. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. It's just a shit show to me. Makes me no difference. But for those of you that are going to participate in that little circus, go right ahead. Be my guest. I hope that whatever choice you make, you know, you're happy with it and it makes you personally feel better. Totally. Yeah. By the way, too, as I do my laundry here, you guys might have noticed that little blue cartoon character on my one of these bed sheets called Doraemon. It's a popular, I think it's Japanese actually, but it's popular in Thailand. Doraemon is this blue cat robot, right? As they describe themselves, he is a cat-like robot that has some compartment in his belly where he makes machines to fix problems. And I happen to like the Doraemon cartoon for that concept. Yes, I'm an adult and I watch cartoons, but it's a very good cartoon. Doraemon! Alright. This is going to take a long time to sort all this fucking laundry out. God damn. Alright, you know what? Let me take a break here, do this, sort the laundry shit, and I'll get back to continuing this show. We'll start a new one up next, alright? How about that? Let me actually have something meaningful to talk about. But yeah, that was my story about phones, y'all. Be careful. This has already been like almost a half an hour anyway, so no need to listen to me incessantly. You guys have a great day. Take this out of the window here, preserve my air conditioning, and go back to the laundry pile that's shit. Exactly. All right, have a great day, folks. Shimmy Cash is signing out. Support my work. Google me if you want. And like I say, buy my movies. I want your money, honey. All day. All right, peace and hair grease.